Good morning, Twin Cities, and welcome to Lakeland. We're here and we're in Azura's and James' home. I'm going to tell you a little bit of background of this. We are overlooking the St. Croix River, and from the very beginning, Azura was very clear she was looking for a mountain lodge look and feel project. Now, we're going to go meet Allie in a second, and you be the judge how well we executed on her vision. So we're in the kitchen right now with Allie, and this 1930s gem of a home. As we said, Azura was looking for a mountain lodge look, but also to make sure that we incorporated all the existing areas. So we're starting out here. Allie, tell us a little bit about what we did and what areas we touched in the kitchen.
Sure. So the kitchen, we did rearrange some of the layout. Originally the sink was where the range is, and then the cooktop was where the sink is. So we flipped things around, left the refrigerator where it was, and we have all new cabinets, beautiful quartzite countertops, and then a kind of a porcelain, kind of handmade looking backsplash. One of the other really nice features is the stone columns that flank the peninsula.
Those stone columns are also the way that you brought this kitchen to answer that mountain lodge look. And if you look at the before pictures, what we witnessed in the kitchen was it was a tin ceiling that had seen its better days.
Yes, yeah, this was all tin ceiling, and so what we did to kind of update it, freshen it up, is we did the wood paneling and painted it white to match the other ceilings in the sunroom and the living room. So it really all tied together nicely. So one of the reasons why we reconfigured the layout in this kitchen was to allow better flow and functionality of working in the kitchen. So the sink was here, and we decided to move the range here because we can have the beautiful hood that the homeowner really wanted vent out easier this way versus when it was in the peninsula. It's also, the sink was here and you're looking at a wall, whereas when we move it to the peninsula, you're now standing and looking into your living room, and you can talk with your guests that are sitting at the peninsula.
Yeah. Brilliant small details of how we just improve not just the aesthetics, but also the functionality, the work triangle, and how a person actually works in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. This corner I'm particularly proud of, because I think that you took the cue of the homeowner's small appliances and created a brilliant storage solution for the things that they normally had sitting out on the counter.
Yeah, so the fridge was here, and then this corner next to it was actually open countertop space, but it went way back, and so it felt like this dead area that was tricky to know what to do with. And so what we ended up doing is creating a really nice built-in look with the espresso maple cabinetry. We have the panel-ready fridge and freezer, and then a really nice appliance garage with storage above it, so she can put her blender. They make smoothies a lot. They can hide away the toaster, other small appliances, and it works really well.
This is our countryside semi-custom line that we use quite a bit, and what I really like is Allie's and Azura's choice of stain, which really answers all the beautiful beam work that you see here, and that ties it again together with that overall vision of a mountain lodge look and feel.
Mm-hmm. Originally, the peninsula was a two-tier peninsula, so the cooktop was here, and then there was a slightly raised bar top. The homeowner really didn't like that feel. She felt it blocked off talking with your guests, and so we made it all one level, continuous. It flows nicely into this dining room space with a place for stools, and we used this beautiful, splendid quartzite that really speaks to the natural materials in the rest of the house, like the wood beams and the stone. And the color of it is gorgeous, paired really well with the backsplash and the cabinetry, and has some lighter and darker tones with beautiful movement in it.
So this sunroom, as we got started, was one of the really sore spots. And you will see from the before pictures of what Allie created in this area. I want you to picture this beautiful property overlooking the St. Croix. We're sitting roughly about 50 to 75 feet. Allie, tell us a little bit about what we had to do with the fireplace wall.
So with this fireplace, imagine that there was a double oven, antique oven here, then there was another opening for the fireplace, and then there was another opening with a kind of a range top.
A grill.
And so it was just not functional for the homeowner, not useful, really not a pretty look to say. And so what we ended up doing here is taking all the stone off. And the nice thing we were able to achieve is leaving some of the stone still on the side, so you can see that when you go down the stairs to the basement, and just did a slight return with this really pretty paneling. Put this all the way across and created framed in a nice TV niche, so the TV can almost be flush with the face of the fireplace, and then added a beautiful electric fireplace down below.
The nice thing about electric fireplaces is that we only need less than 8 inches of room to be able to fit one of those units in there. And for just purposes of space use and space needs, an electric fireplace becomes a really viable option if space is at a premium. The ability to recess your TV also gives that picture of that TV sitting in the wall a much cleaner look than if you were to see it protruding 4 to 6 inches out from the wall. The other thing that I think in this room flows beautifully into the rest of the area is the flooring. This is a very rustic floor, and I think Allie's and Azura's ability to incorporate somewhat rustic elements, but not super rustic elements like the fireplace wall, the stone columns, all play to that mountain lodge look that she was looking for. We're right now in the great room, hearth room. And one of the things that was super important for Azura and James was that how do we deal with the lighting? So Allie's going to talk to you about what happened here, but in a 1930s vintage home, the lighting plan looks really different compared to what we're used to today. So Allie, tell us what we did here.
Yeah, so my initial meeting with Azura and James, they were very conscientious of the lighting in their home. There really wasn't a lot of it, and they felt like it was really dark, especially in this area. There was no chandelier or lighting at all. So we had talked about what's the best solution, and aesthetic-wise, ambiance-wise, functionality-wise. And so we ended up finding this beautiful chandelier that gives you that mountain lodge feel, but more with a kind of a contemporary updated look. And then that pairs beautifully with the sconces that we added on either side of the fireplace, as well as on this window wall. So now they can enjoy this hearth room at night, especially in the months when it gets darker earlier out. They have some really nice ambience and lighting to enjoy the space.
Here's another example also. I'm gonna pat the backs of our production team and our electrician. Sometimes in these older buildings, to get electrical infrastructure to the chandelier, to the sconces that you see on both walls, it's not always super easy. In this case, I think we got a little lucky. We used our attic space, and just the abilities of our team to get infrastructure where it's needed is sometimes half the battle.
Originally, above the peninsula, we actually had a soffit that concealed this beam above. So the soffit obstructed your view from the kitchen into the living room and vice versa. So we took that out, had our team kind of retouch and restain the beam above, and added some recessed lighting above the peninsula. We also carried that throughout the space and added more recessed lighting to again be intentional about the lighting in the space, making things feel brighter, being able to see what you're doing in your work area.
Yeah.
Another area part of the project scope was the hall bath. And so we had a shorter, kind of old, outdated vanity in here. So we updated it with a new vanity, painted cabinetry, a beautiful quartz countertop. We got new lighting in here, and we kind of tried to make this vanity feel like more of a furniture piece. So you'll notice the decorative feet on the bottom. Again, lighting was important to the homeowner. So in addition to the sconces, we added toe kick lighting for some kind of a night light and some mood lighting. And then one kind of challenge with this space was the original vanity was a different depth and size than what we put in. And so the pebble tile was original, but there was like maybe a little 2-inch gap by the toe kick that did not have the pebble tile. So we actually had to find something that coordinated well with the pebbles and fill that in, which I think our production team did a great job with.
Thank you for spending some time with us here today on the St. Croix River bank. Allie and I are really proud of this 1930s split level home. And as a little bit of a fun fact to the audience out there, Azura was very particular in the beginning to make sure that we allowed for this mountain lodge aesthetic and feel to come through. Both her and James spent some time in Colorado skiing, and we had to make sure that we bring some of that alive. What you've seen today is a fairly contained kitchen, sunroom project with a little bit of bathroom. It shows you also that you don't have to embark on a complete kitchen main level to really transform your home. So again, if you've liked anything you've seen here today, go to newspaces.com. Check out our other virtual happy hour home tours where we help people live better. Thank you for spending time with us.